Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of Halloween movie a day marathon thing, which I'm making yearly now. Hatchet, 2006 by Adam Green. This film does two things and two things right: horror comedy and likable characters. Or not likable characters, but not annoying characters. I fucked up that analyst, but let me explain. Hatchet is a love letter to 1980s slasher horror films with practical effects, funny characters, and original yet classic monster villain creature of Victor Crowley and ghost stories in general. Is it a ripoff of Friday the 13th? Yes and no. Does things in here, which it really does pull off a truly creepy atmosphere at points, and really funny dialogue. It's definitely a horror comedy, but not slapsticky in the sense of, say, Evil Dead 2 or stuff like that. The comedy primarily lies in the dialogue and the character interaction and funny things. As to a guy and his best friend complained about he broke up with his girlfriend, now he must look for another girl to hook up with, as saying two chicks who are part of this kind of Girls Gone Wild video thing, and they keep on arguing while the brunette who is talking down to the dumb blonde who is generally dumb, who think that the cops are she's going to call the police and the police are going to call the cops, and she thinks those are two different things. Just funny jokes on that. And and everything else in between, it really kind of works. And I love the use of practical effects up to wazoo. They got Ken Hodder, probably the best Jason, who was Jason, my favorite Friday the 13th film, Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, which really showcased his stunt work in that film. I'll get around that eventually on all those films. But I gotta say, Hatchet is a good film. It's great. It really not capitalizes, but really is a love letter to 80s slasher films. And for some reason, the FCC or some other rating boards company was like, whoa, this is an NC-17 due to all the nudity, sex, and violence in this film. It's weird. Like, they're perfectly fine if a person ripped off another person head, but you can only have a certain number of hacks and chops into a person's flesh with a hatchet, or with any sharp implement. They had to cut it from 13 to 3, so it's weird. And then they also have that weird thing too with sex. You can only have a certain number of thrusts and type of thrusts, and they're all against lesbianism or gay or anything. If it's just a man on woman sex scene, rated R. If it's like man on man, it's NC-17 right away, even though it's the exact same scene. Just change sexes. It's very conservative oriented bullshit. But talk about film. It's good. Check it out. Hatchet by Adam Green. I don't want to spoil any of it. It's quite fun, interesting. It's a nice step up from the Japanese remakes and PG-13 horror films and annoying characters and meta humor and the Scream films. Just, it was quite a dark time for horror films in the late 90s to up until now. I don't mind the gore porn or whatever they call Saw or the Hostel films. Well, the Hostel films have probably some of the worst characters ever in horror film, because douche, best sound effect ever. Check it out. Hatchet, 2006, directed by Adam Green, starring Kane Hodder as Victor Crowley. Very good background story they gave to him. Very fucking generally creepy. My eyes were watering type scariness. I'm not afraid to admit that when I get terrified, my eyes water and tears roll down my face. It's like, Jesus! I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Just that's good. It's that thrill of being scared and trying to contain it and being entertained at the same time. I like being scared. I love that feeling. And this film pulled it off. Check it out. And happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween.